What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan. Now, everyone loves highlight videos of their team, especially nothing better than that, a top 10 highlights of the season. So I kind of wanted to do something like that for today's video, but I didn't want like the traditional, it's just 10, 9, 8, 7, and down the order, and then just being the videos. I wanted to put a little bit of twist on it. So I wanted to give some commentary, some thoughts as to why these were my top 10, why I chose them in the order that I did. So I'm going to get to that. But before I start my top 10 list, I want to hear from you. What was your top moment? Did you have a play or plays from the season that just stood out above the rest? If so, drop your favorite moment, drop your top 3, your top 5, your top 10, whatever you want to come up with. Go ahead, drop those in the comments. I want to see if you've got something that I failed to remember from the 2022 Miami Dolphins season. So let's jump into this thing. And spoiler alert, you're going to see Jaylen Waddle a lot in today's video. And the number 10 play that I have for the Dolphins was his catch and run touchdown versus the Packers. Now, I love this play for numerous reasons. And the only reason it probably wasn't higher is because we fell apart in the second half. And it just, not that the touchdown didn't matter. It was part of an awesome first half, but not getting the win kind of scales this one back a little bit for me. But it was everything we wanted to see from Jaylen Waddle once we drafted him. The ability for Tua to put the ball in traffic and Jaylen Waddle to just maneuver around everybody and house it for one of the longest touchdowns of the season. I've said enough about it. Here it is. As you can see, a little bit of pressure, drops it in there. And it's everything we wanted to see from Waddle. The ability to make everyone miss. And what makes it better is, oh, yeah, you got the fastest guy in the league in Tyreek Hill that's able to go out there and just form a jet, basically just hover in front of everyone. Didn't even really need to make a block. His presence alone was plenty on that play. But I love that catch and run by Jaylen Waddle. It's why we got so excited when we took him out of Alabama. And to be able to see his yards per catch go from, 9 to 18, yeah, I like that kind of offense. So that's my number 10 play right there. So let's go to number 9. And like I said, we're going to see a lot of Jaylen Waddle today. Number 9 was his over-the-shoulder touchdown reception against the Detroit Lions. Now, honestly, this is obviously Jaylen Waddle's on the receiving end of this, but this play was so good because of Tua. This is the exact throw that we also wanted to see from Tua coming out of Alabama. And I'll show you the play and kind of talk during this one here. But this is a 3rd and 6 play. And as soon as Tua sees that safety from that side leave, he throws that ball to Waddle. Just he floats it out there, but yet there's enough speed on that ball where it just goes on a rope. And it's a perfect throw for that because you see Waddle have to accelerate through to catch that ball. There's no hesitation. There's no waiting for it. He accelerates through that catch. I'll show it to you again here. As soon as that safety's gone, Tua knows where he's going. He accelerates through it, perfect over the shoulder. Jaylen Waddle has 2 touchdowns in that game against the Lions. That's when our offense was clicking, wasn't it, Dolphins fans? That's when everything was so damn nice, so damn fun. I missed the season already. Let's go on to play number 8. This is an obscure play, probably the weirdest play that I've seen in a long time, especially from a Miami Dolphins game. But it's the game against the Chargers. I think it was Jeff Wilson fumbles on it. We'll watch it here in a second. And the ball just scoots out, and who happens to get it? Oh, yeah, our fastest guy happens to be there. When we needed it the most, we didn't have a point so far at this point in the game. And as you can see, yep, it's a good-looking run. Gets the first down, fumbles. It's like, oh, shit, we're already down 10-0. 32 for the Chargers there is already celebrating. Oh, yeah, fastest guy in the league again. Right there, you can see the angle. Yep. So, yeah, an ugly game. That's where the offense started to not click so much. Team started taking away the middle of the field. We needed a spark. Not typically do you get a spark play on a fumble. It's usually a bad thing, especially when the ball comes shooting backwards. But, man, when you got Tyreek Hill, the possibilities are endless. So that's my number 8 play. Let's jump to number 7. Mike Gesicki's, man, he's had some great plays in his career as the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, I'm kind of speculating a little bit. I think he moves on after this year. But that touchdown that he had against that Ravens game alone, you could put a top 10 playlist from that game alone. But this play by Mike Gesicki, it's slowed down in the video that I have for you today. And you'll just see every single thing that's so great about this. The throw is excellent. The catch is excellent. The body control is excellent. And obviously the end result of that game, pretty damn spectacular as well. I thought Tua was legit throwing this ball away for a second. when he first threw it. Gesicki jumped damn near early for this game ball and just levitated. And this one, you can really see that second foot too. To be able to get that second foot down as the defender is making contact with him, Gesicki has made numerous one-handed catches for this team. And time and time again, he has been the guy for these kind of plays. I think I just played that with the banner over it. So not to take anything from Gesicki. I want to show it out there just in case I did. But from all the one-handed catches, everything he's done for this team, being a good guy, not making a huge stir throughout the season because he wasn't getting the playing time, he wasn't getting the targets, he wasn't getting the production that he was used to for this Dolphins team. For him to be able to have a moment like that this season, loved it. Huge play. You could rank that one even higher if you wanted to. I went to the playoffs for my number 6 play, and it was Zach Sieler's scoop and score in that playoff game against the Bills. Obviously, Eric Rowe had a huge say in how this play broke down because he timed that blitz perfectly. He had the wherewithal to not just sack Josh Allen, but to get the ball. And then everyone did their job as well. Like Jalen Phillips jumps on Josh Allen so he can't get the recovery. You don't see guys from the Dolphins fighting over it. Rather, Sieler just simply scoops and scores. And man, I'll tell you what, as we watch this one, we had went 3 and out to start the second half. Eric Rowe gets that strip. Phillips take care of Allen. The rest is history for Zach Sieler as he gets his first touchdown. But it's at that point in time, we're down 17-0. We give up the field goal right before half. It's 20-17. You're like, all right, we're kind of in this. That play happens, and I don't know how you felt, but my entire mindset for that game shifted and said, oh, we've got a chance. We have a chance to win this game. And obviously we didn't. And I'm actually recording this coincidentally as the Bills are playing the Bengals in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. But man, that scoop and score, that was a moment of hope in that game. And it was just a great defensive play, especially against the Bills and Josh Allen. We love to see that stuff. My number 5 play is interesting because it's not probably going to be on too many people's top 10 list. A lot of people probably won't even remember this play. It's not a touchdown. It's one of the few non-touchdowns that made my top 10 list, but it's a sideline throw from Tua Tagovailoa to Jaylen Waddle, and it's from the opposite hash. And I don't remember if it's second or third down. We'll see here in a second for the video. But Tua puts this ball in a spot where the defender simply can't touch it, but it's a typical pass where I don't want to say more often than not, but quite often we see these balls intercepted and taken to the house. So like I said, maybe you don't quite remember this play. Hopefully it sparks some memory here when I throw it out there. So yeah, 3rd and 6 from the left hash, decides he's going to throw it now. That defender is all over that. Ball is in a perfect place. You can see how there's another angle. I should have cut up the other angle of this one from behind the play. It looks like it's going to get intercepted. The ball is thrown on a rope in the one spot where it can, and he hits it, and Jaylen Waddle, I'll show it to you again. I can't even do it justice. As soon as he comes out of that break, that ball is right there. The defender has no chance despite being in perfect placement. So like I said, I might be overrating that play, but at the end of the day, that's one of those throws that a lot of people didn't know if Tua could make. And he made it there in that Cleveland game when our offense was clicking, the ground game was going, the passing game was going. There's a play to Trent Sherfield, the touchdown here. Spoiler, it didn't make my top 10. That play would probably replace this play in a lot of people's top 10s. But man, that's when the offense was clicking. Hell of a season. It was a fun season, Dolphins, man. Let's go on to the next one. Hey, if I'd have told you that back in like September that Noah Igbenogany was going to make a top 10 playlist for your Miami Dolphins, you just like, why the hell is Noah Igbenogany out on the field? But this play was huge. Obviously, it sealed the victory, and it sealed the victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because guess what happens if we don't win that game? Well, we're not playing in that playoff game, that wild card matchup against the Buffalo Bills. And honestly, I'll show the play here. You can see Kenny Pickett throws this ball, and the way he throws it right here, because he didn't feel like he really needed to. He could have ran for the first down there and probably got out of bounds. I'll show it to you again here as well. He threw that ball where it looked like there was so much confidence. I was like, oh, there's got to be someone just wide open in the end zone. And actually, this play, I believe, was ruled incomplete. You'll see the referee calling this play incomplete. It was reversed, and it was obviously the game-sealing interception for Noah Igbenogany. But a huge, huge play. You'll see what I mean here, where I think he could have just ran for the first and got out of bounds if Harris blocks, I think it was Roberts there. But probably Noah Igbenogany's best play of the season, and I don't think I'm lying by saying it's his best play with his career with the Miami Dolphins. Most notable, you remember another notable Noah Igbenogany play? Huge play, awesome athletic catch, and a huge must-win game because obviously we got into the playoffs instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3 was a fantastic play, one of my top memories from the season, but it also breaks my heart because when Trent Sherfield caught that I think it was we'll watch it here in a second, that RPO kind of quick hitter and just takes it to the house against the 49ers, the league's best defense. As we started, we're on a huge win streak. We're starting a road trip at this point in time. It's 49ers, it's Chargers, it's Bills. All these games that we're like, oh, these are the test. These are the test games. And we score on the game's first play. It was at that moment when I said, you know what? This could be our season, Dolphins fans. I'm not saying absolutely Super Bowl or anything, but I'm saying, you know what? There's something magical happening here. We're playing against the best defense, and we just did that. We just did that on the first play of the game. Yep, quick run look, hit Sherfield. And here's my favorite part. You don't see Jaylen Waddle? Now you do. Good thing Jaylen Waddle doesn't play on the 49ers defense. He probably would have caught him there. That was a special play. Obviously, the game kind of got away from us from that point in time on. Unfortunately, that was the game where Tua and his wide receivers just really weren't on the same page in regards to depth of routes and timing, and Tua was just off that game, and we still damn near had a chance to come back and win. That was a moment. That was a huge moment. I'm going to always remember that one from this season. Number 2, Tyreek Hill's game-tying touchdown against the Ravens. Now, I'm actually going to give you a personal story from this particular play because I had a buddy whose NFL Sunday ticket wasn't working for the end of this game. So I'm over there on FaceTime. I'm just showing him my TV through the phone. And there's a moment in this play, and I'll show you where I probably didn't even show him the game because I was jumping around, because you could tell when the camera switched over and showed where the ball was going, there was not a Baltimore Ravens defender next to Tyreek Hill. And I simply lost my mind. I'll relive it here. 3rd and 6 again. That's the magical down and distance apparently for the Dolphins. Obviously, he gave him the peace fingers. I just lied too. I said I was going to give you my reaction and I didn't. So let's try that again. So at this point in time, you know he's going deep. See how open he is? And I just lost it. He's going to score. He's absolutely going to score. There was not a doubt in my mind. And it was at that point in time. I think there was, 5-6 minutes left in that game. For one of the rare only moments in my adult life as a Miami Dolphins fan was I saying, I want the Baltimore Ravens to take a little bit of time off the clock here, go down and kick a field goal, because there's not a doubt in my mind the way that second half played out, especially in the fourth quarter, the Dolphins were scoring a touchdown. I said, if that defense can hold up like they did pretty well in the second half in the fourth quarter of that game, hold them to a field goal, there is 100% chance, in my opinion, that the Miami Dolphins are going to score the game-winning touchdown at the end. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe that's a spoiler alert, because my number 1 play from the 2022 NFL season for our Miami Dolphins fans was that game-winning touchdown against the Ravens. And like I said, you could damn near make it top 10 off of that game alone. I still got that thing on the DVR. If I'm ever just like, I kind of want to get some Dolphin highlights, I just throw on the second half of that game. It's simply amazing. This play shows so much as well. Seconds left in the game. Cool, calm, collective. You know you're going to score. Look at the pocket presence. Jump up, keep your eyes downfield, throw the ball to Waddle. Game-winning touchdown, essentially, with 14 seconds left. And when you first watch this, you almost kind of think that Tua didn't have the greatest ball placement. Then when you watch it again, you're like, wow, that was actually excellent. He could have just led him further as well, but he put that ball in such a precise place up top where the defender wasn't getting, and he allowed Jaylen Waddle to essentially kind of box his guy out and get it. But he steps up in the pocket, maneuvers, keeps his eye downfield. Waddle gets his guy boxed, goes up, gets the game winner. That was his second touchdown of the game. He had a monster game. Tyreek had a monster game. Obviously, Tua ended up throwing 6 touchdowns in that game. Just a magnificent game in general for the Dolphins. However, that is my top 10. Like I said, though, I do want to hear from you. Drop your top moments, your top plays, whatever your list may be. Drop those in the comments. I want to know if there was something I missed. I know the Trent Sherfield touchdown against the Browns probably should be in the top 10. The Raheem Mostert run against the Bills in week 15 probably should be in there as well. There's probably some great Jalen Phillips plays as well, but that's where you come in. Drop what I may have forgot. Along with yours, anything that I may have forgot, go ahead, drop those in the comments as well. But that's what I got for today, Miami Dolphins fans. And until next time, fins up.